Alright, so let's break this boilerplate code down. This doc type, this doc type declaration at the very top is what informs the browser that this document here is an HTML document. It tells the browser what to expect and how to read it. You can think of the doc type like the genre label on a book or a film. Is it science fiction, or is it fantasy, or horror, or comedy, or drama? This doc type is the genre label for this document. It tells the browser, this is an HTML document, so this is what you should expect. That's how the browser knows how to read this document. So, obvious follow-up is there are other types of documents that the browser can read. You don't need to know them yet, but understand that that is what purpose this doc type is serving. It tells the browser what document type this is. It's an HTML document as opposed to a PHP document, or as opposed to a CSS document, for example, which we will learn, obviously. So that's the doc type declaration. It's one tag. It's not officially an element, it's just one tag. Then we have the HTML element. We see the opening tag up here, the closing tag down here. So this whole thing is the HTML element. And the HTML element is like the master element for your entire index file. Everything else, everything other than this doc type, will be inside the HTML element. There should never be any code, except maybe comments. You could put comments outside, but there should never be any code except comments outside of the HTML element. And inside the HTML element, there's the head, opening head tag, closing head tag, and the body, opening body tag, closing body tag. These are the two main elements that really build your site and put it together. The head contains information about your page, like the title. I think the title element probably speaks for itself. But in case it doesn't, I'm going to save here and reload my page. Notice there's nothing on my page, but we see insert title here up in the tab, up in the browser tab. So that's where the title ends up, whatever we put in here. Let's change it to my first site, maybe. And now it says my first site up here. All right, so the head element contains information about your page. Everything inside the head is invisible. You know, this is the only place we're going to see the title. It's not on our page. We can't see it on our website. The head element is going to contain other information like the author of the site, the character encoding of a site, other technical things. And this is all information, invisible information called metadata. So the head entirely is for invisible information. Think of it that way. We will not put any code in our head which we actually want to see rendered on our website. That is what the body element is for. All right, so where the head element is always up in the clouds, the body element is where we will write all of the code that we want to actually see on our website. So if I wanted to add an H1 that says hello world, I want it to be here inside my body element, not up here inside my head or outside of the HTML. Okay, all of the code which we want to see rendered should be inside your body element. So let's take a couple seconds or minutes, whatever you're comfortable with, and add some comments to this page. I'm going to reset that title. I want to add some comments here just for practice, and I want you to do the same. Okay, we're going to go a little overboard with comments right now, but this is good practice. I want you to follow along. I'm going to comment this opening HTML tag. I'm going to say HTML element starts here. I'm going to come down here and say HTML element ends here. And we're going to do the same for the head. Head element starts here. Head element ends here. And for the body, body element starts here. Body element ends here. So that's all well and good. These are fairly obvious comments for us. We could add another one here, like insert title of website here. It will display in the browser tab. It's another good comment. Oh, look at that. I actually used 2 hyphens inside my comment, and that's causing an error. That's why it's highlighted in pink. So I'm going to delete that, replace it with a semicolon. How about that? And then finally, if we want to get more qualitative with our comments, we could put one inside the body that says, you know, all the code we want to see rendered on our website should go here, inside the body element. Okay, this is a good place to start. It's completely fine, acceptable, and even encouraged to go overboard with comments right now. As time goes on and you become more comfortable with this, a lot of it becomes internalized. You can certainly come back and delete some of these extraneous comments, but for now, it's just good practice. Okay, so once you're sure that you have no errors here, because if you're finding errors, then you absolutely must slow down. It can be difficult to train yourself to be slow, methodical, detail-oriented, but there is simply no workaround for this. There's no way to get around being slow, methodical, and detail-oriented if you're a developer. You need to start being slow, methodical, and detail-oriented. Over time, you will get faster. Speed comes with mileage, and you will get a lot of mileage over the course of this program, and you will get mileage as you continue on after you graduate this program. But you absolutely must be slow, methodical, and detail-oriented. The slightest error can break everything. Computers are very, very literal machines. So if you find yourself making a lot of errors, if you find yourself making a lot of typos, if you find yourself overlooking or glossing over some of the details, you need to slow down. I might even recommend that you look into some typing exercises or some typing speed exercises. Anything to get your eyes and fingers and the way they communicate with each other more accurate and more on point. If you need to slow down, though, if that's all that it is, if you just need to slow down, then slow down. Because you won't be moving that slow for very long if you follow with these exercises and projects. Anyway, once you're confident that you're good here, we're going to copy all of this and store it in a brand new template folder. And this is going to be the source of our letterhead. So let's put it that way. This is going to be the reusable template for all projects, exercises, and websites going forward. Okay? So what we need to do is find the folder where your index.html is located. It should be in your My First Site folder. I'm going to close out of Sublime entirely because we're not going to use Sublime for this part. What I want you to do is copy your index.html and exit out of your My First Site folder until you're in your Codify folder, where you want to create a brand new folder called template. Okay, so now your Codify folder should have a My First Site folder and a template folder. And we're going to go into our template folder and we're going to paste our index.html. Okay. Now, if we open our template folder in Sublime, and open the index. Let me zoom out a little bit. And we open our My First Site folder in Sublime and open the index. They're going to look identical, or they should look identical. If you see something different, then somewhere along the way something went wrong. Some wires got crossed. You want to be sure that one is located in the template folder and one is located in your My First Site folder. This is actually how we're going to start any project or exercise. I'll show you this again as we build out our template folder a little bit more and explore some more code. But to demonstrate very quickly right now, you're going to, whenever you need to start a new project, new set of exercises, or a new website, you're going to copy your template folder. You're going to paste it wherever you want it to be. Maybe it's here, maybe it's in your week 3 folder, your module 7 folder, however you choose to organize your Codify folder. And you're going to rename it. I'm just going to call it my second site for now. And then this copied, renamed folder is going to be what you open in Sublime. In other words, unless we are making a deliberate, permanent change to our template, we don't ever want to code into our template. All right? If that's confusing to you, hang on to your hats, because we will reiterate this quite a few times, and it's not it's not a huge deal right now, but it will be a very critical piece coming up.